choose from a variety of views. There are, at last count, 27 different ways Quranists read the Quran. And these 27 ways you can adopt and choose as you like. Someone actually accused this of, last week of being cafeteria-style Islam. I was actually I was laughing at that. I was very amused. But in fact, I don't think that's very far from the truth. I think that each human being, we have certain experiences which makes us think that this is the best way to read, this is the best way to understand, and no scholar should stop you from doing that. There are some people who believe in the 19 code but don't believe in rituals. It's unusual, but I know someone like that. I know someone who believes in the Islamic state from a rather Quranic perspective, but does not believe in rituals. So there are multiple ways, multiple combinations, and we're not here to judge you. We're just here to facilitate your reading. So you are welcome to your own views. We're not here to judge. We're not here to tell you, unless you believe this, you're not a Muslim. No. That's not what we're here for. We're here to say, here are the variety of views. Take what you want, give what you want. You are welcome to even offer your own views, because that's how we grow. After this, we'll be reviewing a book, and even though the book is marvelous, we're still going to find some flaws with it, because that's how we are. We're human beings. We always have room for improvement. So the question is, what is Quranist Islam? Quranist Islam is a space. What is a space? A space is a particular location which you enter, and there are certain protocols. I mean, if you go and get your knighthood from the Queen, you're not going to wear a pair of shorts and t-shirt. No, you're going to wear your suit, and you're going to speak all posh. So in the same way, Quranist Islam is a particular space. It has its particular protocols. So what is Quranist space about? It's about taking what fits you, what suits you most. We are not here to arbitrate your human experience. We are here to say, well, you know what? We've researched the Quran. This is what we've come up with. We've looked at other people who think about the Quran, whether they are Sunnis, Shias, or Sufis. That's fine. And whatever it is you find useful, take it. Who is the authority in the Quran space? You are. No one can tell you, unless you accept this, you are a kafir, etc. If they do, that's something else entirely. That's not Quranist Islam. And you have a personal relationship with Allah. In fact, I believe that is what the Quran is about. When you read the Quran and you build a relationship with the Quran, you are in fact moving closer to Allah. I find that especially true when you read what I call B2B reading, Bismillah to Bismillah reading. It's almost like Allah has sent you a particular letter. You don't want to read the letter halfway. You want to try and get the full breadth of the message. So when you read this, Allah is telling you about the world. He's telling you, okay, you know what? This is how reality is. And if you follow Allah's view on things, you will attain the highest achievement for a human being. And that is what we are trying to facilitate. The Quranist Islam typology. What is a typology? A typology essentially is a discussion on various ways one can approach the text. And the typology of Quranist Islam is our hallmark. In traditional Islam, usually there are lectures which state, okay, you know what, here are false beliefs. And you have to, in the Salafis, they call it tasfiyah. Tasfiyah comes from the word safa, which means to make pure. And they make it a field for their scholars to purify the deen from innovators, from the kuffar, disbelievers, etc. We don't have that. We welcome diversity. In fact, as I said, there are 27 different counts. Hopefully, I'll be publishing that very soon. And this typology discusses how we think. How many types of Quranist Islam exist? At last count, it was 27. Is this a bad thing? Well, some people think it is a bad thing because they want to go to religion for easy answers. I call it TV dinner Islam. You know TV dinners, all you have to do is just pop open the lid, stick it in the microwave, and there's your dinner, it's all ready. Unfortunately, religion is not that simple. Religion is not just popping it in the microwave, getting it, consuming it, and gaining your salvation. Religion is about discovery, it's about exploration, it's about trial and error. You can make mistakes. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have misunderstood the Quran only to find someone correct me. And I think it's a wonderful thing. It helps keep you on the path. So no, I don't think it's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a natural thing. And I think denying it is a bad thing. When you start saying, okay, I have the final answers, that's when you stop looking. And when you stop looking, that's when you stagnate. A major Quranist debate. Now, for those of you who are in the field, you would know what I'm talking about straight off. So, here's the joke though. The joke is, what do you get when you bring two Quranists together? I mean, those of you who know me would know that I've been babbling about this joke for years now. When you bring two Quranists together, what you get is 3 forms of salat. And the reason for that is, salat is just simply the most opaque concept which exists in the Quran. Everyone says it's this. Some other people say that. Other people say no, it's the other, etc. So, for a traditional Muslim, I can understand how daunting that must be. I mean, I was there myself. When I first contemplated the idea that salat may not be ritual prayers, I was scared. And I thought to myself, okay, well, do I really want to be part of this kind of deviation or deviance? It scared me for a while. Then I realized that no matter what was happening, I was getting a more accurate representation of the Quran's own philosophy. My personal understanding is that it's not a particular set ritual. But the debate between traditionalists, neo-traditionalists, and secular Quranists, these are 3 types of Quranists. The debate is very stimulating. It always helps you to get a better feel of what the Quran is teaching. At the moment, my understanding of Salat is that it is a form of connectivity with Allah. Not just on the prayer mat, you can do it on the prayer mat. You can also achieve connectivity by following Allah's laws. You can achieve connectivity by building relationships between people. So it's almost like a network of ideas. So even though it is a matter of debate, the fruits of that debate, to me, has been very, very valuable. So now we come to the obstacles. What's the solution? The solution is, in my opinion, keep reading. Don't fear the next step in your reading. Never fear that. You should always be open and honest enough with yourself to say, okay, here's what I believe. Even though maybe I can't prove it, I have that internal feeling. Because that's your relationship with Allah. Obstacles to Quranist Islam. Quranist fundamentalism. And Quranist Islam is not a perfect space. We have our problems. I believe the problems lie in not adopting the mentality of the Quran, even though you adopt the ideology of the Quran. Because the Quran has a set way of looking at things. And one of the obstacles in Quranist Islam is Quranist fundamentalism. This is what I call it. I think it's Wahhabi Quranism. Essentially, it's taking the Wahhabi attitude and wearing it as a badge. And that's how you look at things. Reading without the factor of interpretation. In other words, when you read the Quran, these QFs or Quranist fundamentalists, when they read it, they claim it's the Quran speaking. Okay, so let's say you have a debate with them and they say, okay, the Quran says in chapter 45 verse 6, in which hadith will you believe in after Allah and His verses? So they look at the traditionalists and they say, you believe in hadith, therefore you are whatever, so and so. Here's the point though. They are interpreters of the Quran. When the traditionalist reads the Quran, he may see hadith as something else. And that's okay. So just because he reads the Quran in that way, that becomes gospel. That's the trademark of the fundamentalist. And unfortunately, we can't have such people, at least in this organization, we can't have such people because we want openness and we want tolerance. Dropping hadith equals salvation. This is again a very Wahhabi-like thinking. When you say, okay, my doctrine is, if you believe in any hadith, you are not Muslim. That is not Quranist Islam. Quranist Islam is not about ideology, it's about practice. Whatever it is you believe in, if you don't practice goodness in your life, that's not salvation. So dropping hadith is not enough for salvation. If you say, I don't believe in hadith anymore, that won't save you. What will save you is studying the truth and trying your best to understand it. I contend that many hadith can lead you to Allah. Many. I've seen many hadith. Personally, I don't use hadith because I don't feel it's concordant with the Quran. But I do feel that many hadith lead you there. For example, reverence of parents, helping the poor, these kind of things. They are all very much concordant with the Quran. Obstacles to Quranist Islam. Number 2, post-Quranism. Post-Quranism is using the Quran to minimize religion. I've seen this myself in my years of debate, where people ultimately say that Islam is really nothing, it's just doing good. I believe that Islam can be formulated that way, but that minimizes the role of the Quran. The Quran is far wider than that. It actually offers you a philosophy of life. But post-Quranists, unfortunately, prefer to keep it minimal. But that is up to the individual. I believe that every individual will take as much or as little as he or she needs, and that's fine. But I think it's a pity. The solution to this is to read slowly and focus on smaller chapters. The Quran is not a book which opens itself up to you immediately. It's the kind of thing which, as time goes by, as your experience grows, then you begin to enrich your reading. And when you do that, what happens is you will see layers and layers of understanding. In fact, I've looked at the Quran for a number of years, yet it's only now I'm beginning to see how chapters are interlinking, how stories are being explained in other ways in various chapters. This is very new to me. You see, so I believe that we can't expect the Quran to be accessible in one go. As we grow, our understanding will grow. And the third obstacle to Quranist Islam, Quranist elitism. As the name suggests, elitists are people who create knowledge regimes. Knowledge regimes are people who monopolize knowledge, and they say, all right, this is exactly what Quranist Islam is. This is a set ideology, and anyone who comes close to this is a deviant. They're different from Quranist fundamentalists in that they have interpretations. The only thing is they try to suppress other interpretations. They are usually also veterans. These people are not new to discussion. They have been in the game for a long time. And when they have that, their views become entrenched. And new challenges will become impossible for them to deal with. So the solution is to create new spaces. We have a space in Facebook, we have a website, etc. And we are trying our best to not allow this to happen. This is ossification of thought. We don't want ossification to happen. We want people to challenge our views. We want people to keep thinking new things. Even if we disagree, that's fine, as long as the thought does not stagnate. So these are the obstacles to Quranist Islam.